Today is 824th day to come here to lessons and learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, we'll speak about personal brand. Personal brand. It doesn't matter who you are. I truly believe that personal brand is essential. Every single person is supposed to ask, so what is my personal brand? What is my personal brand? Because personal brand is one of the things that really allows people to get lucky. Because a lot of times people say, oh, like, he got lucky. But I think that a lot of times people get lucky who understand personal branding. So that's why I truly believe that if you really want to get results, you need to focus on personal brand. Because personal brand is something that attracts things that you want. So what do you want? What do you want? And then think about, okay, what kind of person I need to be to attract those things? What kind of person I need to be to attract those things? So that means that personal brand will allow you to attract the things that you want. So today we'll share more things like why personal brand is so important. So we'll share like 10 things that why personal brand is so important. And tomorrow probably we'll focus on how you can build that personal brand. So number one is that when you have a personal brand, that will give you a professional opportunities. That means that when you have personal brand, when you have that brand, and when people know who you are, because when I started my career, everyone knew me that I'm amazing in numbers, and everyone knew that I'm financial guru, and that brand was carrying me forward very, very, very well. Because when you have a brand of something and that brand exactly what it needs for that position, you'll get that position quite easily. Because brand allows you to get what you want. So when I said that during interviews that this is my personal brand, this is how every single person knows me. Oh, that's exactly what we're looking for. So let's hire this person because he knows who he is. And that's very powerful because when you know your personal brand, you know who you are. And when person knows who he is much more confident. So it means when you do not know who you are, that will show up in your communication with other people because you try to look for yourself. But when you know your personal brand, that will show up in the interviews, in the professional opportunities. It could be business opportunities. So that means personal brand is very important for self-confidence. Number two is networking. Networking. This is very, very powerful. When you know your personal brand and what you're trying to achieve and when you want to attract things, so that means that people will send you connections when they know who you are as a person, when they know who you are, when they know your personal brand. So I truly believe that first, when we think about branding, we need to very niche. So that means that we need to focus on one aspect of our brand of our life, because when people know your specific niche, it will be much more easy to network. Because imagine when you are networking, say, "Oh, I'm doing this and this and this and this." People know like exactly. So who you are? Like, what is the main thing that you're really working on? But when you say this is exactly what I'm working on, now people say like, this person is focusing on one thing and one thing only. He knows how to use his energy wisely. So let's send even more resources to really help him to achieve that one thing that he wants, that he's looking for. So networking, personal brand is essential. Number three is credibility and trust. Credibility and trust. And this is again, when you know that this is your personal brand and you niche it out, that builds massive credibility and massive trust because you know that you focus, you know what you do, you know who you are. So that means that credibility is massive because when you focus on one thing and one thing only, you become an expert. Because if you focus on 5 things and your brand is on 5 things, everyone knows that you're not able to spread yourself too thin. So that means you will be average on all 5 things. But now when you have that niche personal branding, you have massive credibility because you're expert in that field. And you have trust. And it's because of that credibility and trust, you are able to attract more and more connections. And of course, when you have trust, that's when you do deals with other people. Because there's a saying that you could be liked or you could be trusted. So you first want to be trusted, and then of course second is liked, not liked and trusted later. Number 4 is career advancements. That means that when you have a personal brand and you're working already in a career and you build a brand, it's much easier to advance in there. Because people, oh, like we know that. We know that when he gets the opportunity, he gets things done. He gets things done. He's a dependable person. So career environment becomes much more easy when you're working on your personal brand. So when you think about and reflect on personal brand, what kind of personal brand do you have now? What is your values and everything between? So when you know your personal brand, and this brand represents career advancement, it represents the growth and improvement. If yes, so it will be much more easy to advance in your career. Number 5 is visibility. So that means that when you have that positive, consistent brand, people start to see you, because it's not easy to be consistent and something. So when you have that consistent way of doing things, people will start to recognize you as a person, as a brand. So it's very, very important that if you really want to be seen by other people, we need to learn how to be consistent at what we do. Because the more we consistent, the more we are visible. Because if you just do a little bit one thing and add a little bit other thing, you disappear in the masses. But when you do one thing at a time and you build that one brand on one specific thing, it will stand out quite easily. Number 7 is confidence building. Confidence building. That means that when you think about, okay, how am I supposed to build my confidence? And a lot of times it's boils down into how you see yourself. Because personal branding is not just for other people. Personal brand is for you as well. For us, it's very important to understand who am I? Who am I? Because when you answer that question, who am I? You have that personal brand for yourself. Because when you go to pursue something different, because you know who you are, you have the confidence that you will be able to make it happen. You have the confidence that you will be able to make things happen. So personal branding is important for you as well, not just for other people. Number 8 is entrepreneurship and business success. That means that when you are an entrepreneur, when you want to build a business, personal brand is important, because at the end of the day, people will want to buy from you, build a business with you, connect with you, if they know who you are. What is your brand? What do you stand for? What are you working towards? What is your vision? So when you know your brand, it's much, much easier to become an entrepreneur, become a businessman, because everything starts from why. So Simon Sinek starts from why. What is the purpose of yours? So when you start sharing the purpose and your brand, people will be attached not to your product, but to your brand and what is your purpose. So it's very, very important to understand that we need to focus on the brand as much as on the product. Because if they don't like your brand, they will not like your product. Number 9 is influence and leadership. This is very, very important. So that means when you, it's potentially for the business as well, because when you have amazing brand, that personal brand could inspire other people, and people want to follow your footsteps. So it's very important to build a personal brand that you have more opportunities to lead, inspire, aspire people, and of course lead. Because personal brand is leading yourself first, that you could lead others. Because if you don't lead yourself, you'll know other people will not be led as well. Personal brand is important for leadership, because that's one of the best way to inspire people to follow your footsteps. And last one, number 10, is adaptability. And it's part of really confidence, because when you know who you are, changes will not tremble you. When you know who you are, changes will not impact you. You will welcome it. So let's say, this is who I am, and how we use this change, how we use this setback, obstacle, challenges, how I use those things to enhance who I am. That means that you don't question yourself at that moment, because a lot of times during setbacks, we have a tendency to question, do I really do what I need to do? Do I really can make it happen? Am I enough? But now when you know who you are, and you know where you're going, when you know your purpose, changes, setbacks, obstacles start to make questions like, how this setbacks enhances who I am, how I could build my brand through this adversity. That is a very, very good question. So when you have a setback, is how I can use this adversity to build my brand and character, how I could build my personal brand through this adversity. This is a very, very powerful question, because when you know when you're going through this adversity, And when you persevere, at that moment, you build the brand. You build the brand and you're able to share other people how you did it, how you overcome that setback. Because a lot of people will quit on the same setback. And now you're able to say that I stay there because I want to lead other people, because other people, different people have different reasons why they persevere. For me specifically, I always think about, if I persevere, I will be able to share stories, what I did to make it happen. So I want to build a personal brand of a person who fights no matter what, who fights no matter what. And that's exactly what I want to build over the decades. I don't plan to build that over the week or over the month, because personal brand is not a weekly thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's not a yearly thing. Personal brand could be a decades thing. So it means when you start thinking, okay, I want to build a personal brand, that means that you need to think that, how am I able to sustain my personal branding and personal brand building? Personal brand building. So I think that personal brand is essential in life. And I think that we do not think about it enough. I'm a guilty as well. I was not thinking out how I see myself and how other people see me. Because it's important. It's important to think about, because we live in community and we need to understand how other people see us. And I think a lot of times people make mistakes on that, because we think that people see us in one way, but they see us differently. And we need to really adjust based on that as well. Because some people are important and we need to really be the best version of ourselves for the most people that we care about. So I hope that you will reflect as well, what is your personal brand right now for yourself and for others? And then start to improve to make sure that you're able to achieve your vision. Because this is very, 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 very important to understand that, as I said, that lucky are the people who build their personal brand. Because luck is attracted like everything else, and luck is attracted by personal brand. So the more you build your personal brand, it's easier to attract that luck. Because when you know your personal brand and we go outside and know who you are, it's very easy to build connections with people that could make you lucky. So I hope you choose Ivan, and see you tomorrow.